I mean, they're going second for the second week in a row, play Chelsea in the final part of Super Sunday tomorrow. Man City go first away at Leeds United earlier. Is pressure and how Arsenal handle it or don't handle it the only thing that stops them ending this 22-year wait for the title?
Yeah, and a bit of luck here and there along the way. I mean, you got to get a bit of luck along the way, you know. Kick off tomorrow, ball goes over the top, keeper comes out, someone goes round and keeper gets sent off, you're in trouble. So you need that little bit of luck at the same time. Big pressure playing second. If Man City win.
Yeah.
If Man City win, the pressure's on. So for me, this is a big weekend, as I said earlier. Man City got a difficult game at Leeds and then Arsenal got a very, very difficult game at home to Chelsea. So, yeah, all the eyes were on Arsenal last week against Tottenham. You know, big local derby. You think it's going to be a bit of a leveller, and they performed. Put in a brilliant, brilliant performance. You sit there after and you think, why didn't you just play like that against Wolves? Why don't you just play like that with that amount of energy, have a go at them, attack them, you know, and Wolves wouldn't have been able to live with Arsenal. So, for me, I think they've got to take the game to Chelsea. Chelsea will probably sit back like they did in the semi-final and soak it up and try and get Arsenal on the counter-attack. But, yeah, big football match this. I think if Arsenal win this game, you could tick another big team off that they've beaten.
And Merce is right, Boydie, to talk about, particularly that performance against Wolves. It was so poor by the standards they've been setting this season. Yeah. But can we read too much? Listen, you only beat what's in front of you, and they did so well against Tottenham last week. But we've talked about Tottenham. They're so far off it at the moment. Yeah. Can we read too much into that winning performance?
Yeah, because it's a derby. You know, I mean, I know Tottenham are struggling right now, but to go and put on the performance that they did, and I thought Gyökeres was outstanding. I mean, there's been times where he's been criticised this year. I don't know if maybe because Tottenham, Tottenham started with a back three. Usually when you see Gyökeres, he's trying to back in, he's trying to fight with defenders. I thought at the weekend it was an outstanding performance because he didn't go and get involved in the battle. He didn't go and try and play up against them. He played in between them, he played to the side of them. He caused Tottenham all sorts of problems, and when he's in this form, I think he's very difficult to stop because there's one thing, yes, he's not hit the amount of goals that a lot of people expected him to get, or he's not hit the amount of goals that he got in Portugal in the last few years. He was never going to. But whenever you give him a chance, Si, I mean, his finishing is outstanding. This year, there's only one thing. He doesn't need to look at the goal. He knows exactly what it is. The goals don't move. His first touch is perfect. It's in, it's clean, and it's a fantastic sight. This one uses his body. He's fully aware of it there, as I said. Usually it's like backing in and trying to fight with defenders. That time there, he gets his arm up across, holds the defender off and just bends it away. It was an outstanding performance. And, you know, for me, when you've got that back three and a striker, it can be difficult sometimes to go and pick him up, but he occupied the three of them last week.
I think he was very, very clever. If you looked, he played on Polinia and Dragusin in between them two. He never went on the other side where he goes, I don't want a foot race with Mickey van der Ven and Dragusin in the middle. So he played down that side. When he was up for a physical battle with Dragusin and Polinia, I thought he just outstrengthened them. What he wants, teams go to the Emirates and sit 10 players behind the ball and it's hard for him to get an opportunity. But I think 10 Premier League goals this season, I think he's been a good signing. People say, yeah, his numbers aren't great. He occupies centre-halves, Boydie, like you just said, and it gives you wide plays. It gives the player in the number 10, Eze, last week, a little bit more freedom, a little bit more space, because he puts his centre-halves back. I think he's a good signing, but people will always question that.
And mentioning Eze there, Merce, I just wondered how much he benefited, particularly last week, because Eze appears and he just absolutely loves scoring against Tottenham. Scored another couple to go with his hat-trick earlier this season, but it looked like Gyökeres was benefiting from having someone running off him, because at times this season he has looked a little bit isolated.
Yeah, He put Saka in there against Wolves. It's an odd position to play the 10. You know, you just don't just put someone in there and go, oh, go and do what you want. You've got to make things happen. You've got to find pockets. You know what I mean? And Eze's very good at that. You know, I thought that was what he was bought for, was to get in them little pockets. You know, and if you get him on the ball, he can turn it. He's elegant. He goes past people like they're not there. Yeah, and it helped. If you won that game was perfect for Arteta. You know, they win the game 4-1 and Gyökeres gets 2 goals.
Yeah.
And Eze scores 2. I mean, if you could pick 2 players you wanted to score the goals, that would be it. If these 2 hit fire to the end of the season, Arsenal win the league.
Yeah.
You know, if they can go and be 8 out of 10 every week. Because, you know, we said at the start when Eze got bought, he was the X factor. He was the one that was going to get them over the line. And I still think that could be the case, you know, long as he plays. and Arteta trusts him. I always find with Arteta...
Do you think he does fully?
No, I don't think he does. A lot of people. I think Arteta plays on sparks where he'll watch someone, they'll do something wrong, and then, oh, you're out the team. Do you know, I've seen it too. You know, you see it with Calafiori not long ago. He had a nightmare game, gets ripped off, don't play again. You know, Eze gets caught on the far post against Cash at Villa. Don't really play again. You've got to give them a chance. Trust in them more, these players. I don't think he does that enough, in my opinion.
Soccer Saturday pundits hailed Viktor Gyökeres as outstanding, following his brace in Arsenal's 4-1 North London derby demolition of Tottenham on February 22, 2026, emphasizing how his presence up front transforms the team's dynamics. The Swedish striker curled in a beauty in the 47th minute to restore the lead after Eberechi Eze's 32nd minute opener, then powered home in stoppage time for his second, taking his Premier League tally to 10 goals. Panelists praised Gyökeres' relentless pressing, hold-up play, and ability to create space, noting he gives players like Eze more freedom in the number 10 role. Eze grabbed his own double in the 61st with a clinical rebound, punishing Spurs' slack defending and adding to his 5 goals against them this season. The discussion turned to Mikel Arteta's growing trust in his squad amid the title race. After the frustrating Wolves draw, Arteta's decision to start Eze in midfield and keep Gyökeres on throughout showcased belief in his depth and rotations. Pundits lauded Arteta for fostering confidence, with one saying the derby response proved the Gunners' mental strength. Arteta's trusting his players to deliver in big moments. Gyökeres is feeling that trust, and it's unlocking his best. Eze's influence was highlighted as game-changing, linking play and deciding matches, while Gyökeres' intimidating presence and work rate were credited for elevating teammates. The win restored Arsenal's 5-point lead at the top, 61 points from 28 games, boosting quadruple hopes ahead of tough fixtures. Soccer Saturday agreed, this performance shows Arsenal's squad is clicking under Arteta's guidance, title contenders with firepower and belief. Please like and subscribe.